Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second part of coverage from the Motorhome and Caravan show at the NEC. And in this part, I'm going to take a closer look at the Bailey Alicanto Grande Alvor, speak with Martin at Truma on their new air conditioning unit, and then finally share my thoughts on the show. Now, a word of warning, sadly there was some flickering of lights inside the first Caravan we look at. I've tried my hardest to remove it, but I can't get rid of all of it. So if you are photosensitive in any way, it might be best to close your eyes until we leave the Bailey stand. But with that being said, we're on the Bailey stand. Let's make a start. Right, here we are then. We're on the Bailey stand. We're looking to look at the Alicanto Deluxe Alvor. Now, I didn't see this at launch. I haven't been privy to any information of it. But this is the Alvor, and this is what we've got. This Caravan retails for $40,499 recommended retail price. It weighs in at 1,852 kilos, that's upgradable to 2 tons. It's a twin axle, 8-foot wide van, but it's got a very unique look inside. So let's head inside. Now, I'll apologise for the flickering, I can't do much about that, but let's start with the lounge. As you can see, it's an L-shaped lounge, and it goes the other way around to conventional L shapes. And obviously that L shape means that we have space for a large TV. What's nice about this layout is that it's got a little window next to the TV, so it doesn't blank off that side of the Caravan completely, and we do get a little bit of light in during the day. Very nice. There is provision down here for electrical devices. The TV socket, by the way, and outlet and power is down there, so I guess when this is plugged in there's going to be some sort of cable dangling, unfortunately. So yeah, not great. Wireless charging point down here on the side as well. So it's very good. Now, the kitchen. The kitchen is perhaps the biggest thing which impresses me in this van, and I am sorry about the flickering lights. As you can see, is a massive window behind the sink, which means that when you're doing your washing up or you're cooking your breakfast in the morning, that window is quite large, and that does let a lot of light into the van. Up here, we have some storage for small plates, bowls, cups, what have you. Storage either side. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, that's very nice. Where's the microwave? That's a bit weird. Let me just get down here and let me get back. The microwave is held in here. I'm not too sure about this, I'll be honest, because I feel that to use the microwave, you're going to need the doors open at least when you're cooking something that's a bit steamy. Maybe you're steaming some vegetables, or I don't know, maybe you're steaming some veg, or maybe you're cooking some rice. It's going to be a bit steamy, so I'm not sure about that. Time will tell. The other thing I will say is that the height of the worktop is quite high, and I must admit, I think it's one of the nicest looking kitchen units I've seen. That's it, that's the kitchen unit. Fridge, freezer, other side, just over here. Storage, and as you'd expect on the Deluxe, just here, which is great. And then the bed, and in my opinion the bed is run the wrong way, but it does make it very interesting. It does mean that you're not looking out at your neighbours in the morning, you're looking through your awning, or you're looking out over your pitch, eventually into your neighbour's Caravan. But again, massive bed. It's a king size bed, very nicely laid out this year in the Alicanto range. Huge headboard, beautiful lighting. I will say from experience, being an Avora owner, the bed is very comfortable. I don't think they've changed the mattress or anything to do with the bed. Maybe they've done something with the struts to reinforce them. Let's go back here into the washroom. Beautiful showers, as we've seen in the unicorns. Same sort of concept, backlit corner display there, which is very nice. Usual affair with the sink and storage. And then the loo is this side, and this is something I don't like, the loo being on this side. It means that you're emptying into potentially your awning. But if you've got like a smaller awning where it's just like a porch awning, or like a 330 or what have you, or 390, you're going to be emptying this outside of the awning because it's quite far back. But I don't like the loos being on this side of the Caravan. Let's just have a look down the bottom end there from the washroom. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are. The big selling point here is the kitchen, obviously. I think it's very nice. Lots of storage, standard affair with the cooker. There we go. So that's the Bailey Alicanto Grande Deluxe Alvor.
Oh, wow.
I've just come down to the Truma stand and I am joined with Martin Fitzpatrick of Truma, and we're going to talk about the new Aventa 2nd generation. So Martin is behind me just there. Let me turn the camera around and let's get him to introduce the brand new air conditioning unit.
At this show, we're actually launching, as Dan has said, our 2nd generation Aventa. The Aventa is our roof-mounted air conditioner. It's a very, very luxurious accessory for caravans and motorhomes. It's one of the most desired products, perhaps, in upgrading a caravan or a motorhome, because in these beautiful summers that we sometimes have, I say with a smile, an air conditioner allows you to be really comfortable in your caravan or your motorhome, particularly at night in those difficult to sleep times when it's perhaps a little bit too hot and sticky. So the 2nd generation builds, of course, on the 1st generation. What we've done is look to improve our product range. One of the key aspects for an air conditioner is its weight. It is actually quite a hefty piece of kit to actually put on and take out of your payload. So what we've made sure is when we've made a new one, we've made it lighter than its predecessors. We have 3 models, but on average they're 4 kilograms lighter than their predecessor. So that's a weight that is not compromised in the performance, because the performance for cooling remains the same as its predecessors. And of course that's also one of the most key facts for any air conditioner, that it must keep you cool, and we think we do that really, really well. It's a very comfortable sense of cooling, and it actually of course has a very quiet night mode, which is all important to allow you to sleep at night while you're still having some air conditioning in the vehicle. All of the models also come with something called a reverse cycle heat pump. What that allows you to do is also use the air conditioner for heating. When it's mounted in the roof, you can get a quick blast of hot air to warm your caravan or your motorhome as well. So that's something that is additional on 2 new models that we didn't have previously.
So let me just butt in there. That was only reserved for the Aventa model, or the Comfort, the Aventa Comfort?
That's right, Dan. On the 1st generation, it was only the top of the range Comfort model that had the reverse cycle heat pump. Now on the 2nd generation, that feature is in all 3 of the models.
Okay.
Which is actually, you know, a benefit we think for the customers when you want that quick blast of warm air, perhaps to warm you up on a chilly day.
Yeah, yeah.
The control system for the Aventa comes in several potential for a customer. You can get a typical handset. We've got a brand new handset there that actually can control the product individually. With technology and a Bluetooth chip, we're also able to operate it from your smartphone. There's an app that will allow you to operate it from your smartphone, or there's a choice of actually tying it into the control system of the vehicle through other heating panels, which we can talk through in a lot of detail if you're interested in the product.
Okay.
One of the other very, very important changes that we're doing with the new generation is the gas that we use as a refrigerant in this model. Air conditioners have suffered historically from not having the best products in them when it comes to air conditioning. We've actually been key to use a new refrigerant that actually has a global warming potential of virtually 0.
Okay.
It makes this a much better product for the environment. I'm very careful not to say environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
Because of course when you're manufacturing something or using any gas, it has an impact on the environment. But in the things that we're measured for, which is the global warming impact, that has been reduced virtually to 0. We're very proud of that. When it also comes to a choice of colours, you have, as you can see, a very nice bright one. You have a white caravan or white motorhome. That's something that is normally one of those that will blend in very nicely. But also the panel van market, that's increasingly more colourful. We also have a product that's actually got a black casing on.
Right.
So we actually have a choice of colours there. The product's been shown for the first time at the show. We actually have them on the market available from January of 25. And for those people visiting the show, please come and talk to us. We can give you a whole range and demonstration on our air conditioning.
Sure.
Give you some prices, and we're very keen to see people this week.
Awesome. There was one thing I wanted to just touch on. I had a demonstration of this model yesterday with Simon, just while they were setting up the stand. And he showed me what I think is perhaps, for me personally as an end user, the biggest selling point, which was the soft start. Because the compressor, when they kick in, no matter the air conditioning unit, it makes quite a din when it gets going. When the compressor kicks in and it starts off, it can be quite loud. When you've obviously used it for some time, you get used to that. But what Simon demonstrated to me yesterday was absolutely mind-blowing. That he said to me, oh yeah, that's the compressor coming on now, and I couldn't tell any difference at all.
It's so good that you mentioned that, Dan. It is actually something that, again, in the products and the components that we use, we always try and innovate. And there's two real benefits that you've touched upon there. One, it is quieter when it's starting up because of the way that we slowly get that compressor going rather than it giving it full speed to begin with. The other benefit is that when you go to some continentalist sites that might not have the sort of amperage power that you have on some UK sites, it means that you can get started with slightly less power and not trip all of those switches out in the line.
Yeah.
That will sometimes upset your neighbours. So you're right, it's a nice benefit when you're in the vehicle that you don't hear that starting noise, but actually it's also a benefit in how it's used on continental sites that it actually doesn't trip those switches out as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's just nip round to the other side, because I just want you to just show me the new diffuser which is now on the market, because that's quite different as well, isn't it?
Will do, Dan, of course, yeah.
Okay, Martin, so we're looking at this diffuser. Which one is this?
This is the premium diffuser, Dan, which is easy to see because of the lighting, the LED lighting that goes around the edges on this.
Okay.
We make the diffuser really in two price brackets, for one that's maybe a little bit more cost conscious. But what we've done with the diffuser as well is we've worked on a flat surface here as well. The previous diffuser was a little curved.
That's right, yeah.
This also gives us an option for manufacturers potentially if they factory fit an air conditioner, because it gives them a surface that they can actually adhere roof material to and get a real blended view. So as you look to your roof and you're looking at your ceiling, you're actually looking at the same material across it. So it's really a bespoke air conditioner. If you're buying it, of course, in the aftermarket for a retrofit, then this nice surface obviously also gives you a very clean look in your vehicle. And we have, of course, really good air distribution that I can feel at the moment.
Yeah, let me just come around this side.
Estimate where it is in the way that this is coming out front and back, and obviously controllable through some vents and controllable on the main switch, more forward or more to the aft, to allow you really to customise in your vehicle where you want that air conditioning.
That's really lovely. Martin, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I know you're a busy chap, but I really appreciate your time today, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Dan.
So there we go, there's my coverage of the NEC show, and I must admit, personally, it's one of my favourite shows I've been to in a long time. I know the industry is on its knees at the moment. There's lots of uncertainty, and the effect of recent events have really taken its toll on the industry at large, but there was some fairly quiet optimism, certainly from the accessories market, and I think that's where this show is going to excel. Accessories, I believe, are going to be on the up, and that's because people can't afford to change their caravans, but they can afford to upgrade them. So things like new awnings, changing the bedding, maybe buying a towing cover, installing air conditioning, maybe even considering putting in Wi-Fi. All of those people were saying that they were having a significant uplift on the number of visitors and inquiries into their products. I think sales of caravans are going to be really down. I think sales of camper vans are going to be up, because that seems to be where the new cool is, and I think that's where lots of people are going to be very interested in purchasing new leisure vehicles. Now, the show was really good for me because this year I was privileged and really honoured to be asked to be a judge for the Caravan and Motorhome Club Design Awards for 2025, and that took quite a lot of time, but it did mean that I was able to look around pretty much all the caravans before the show even opened on the Tuesday morning. And that meant that during the Tuesday and the Wednesday that I was at the show, I could focus my attention on some of the smaller stands. Now, one of those stands was the cart stand. There was a product on the stand where they were demoing the possibility of having a shower using 3 to 5 litres of water over a 10-minute shower. And it was a very clever, looked pretty complicated system, but it was very clever, and that's going to be something that they're developing in the near future. it was really lovely seeing some of the smaller stands. I particularly enjoyed looking at the quirkier caravans, the GoPod Flex, which was unravelled at the show. That looked absolutely fantastic. Beautiful finish inside and a really excellent designed eye for a micro caravan. It really was very interesting to speak to the people on the stand. And also there was the barefoot caravans as well, which were just absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely exquisite. It's an Instagram dream, those caravans. So that was the show. I thought it was very well attended on the 2 days that I was there. I understand it was slightly down on the numbers, but I understand on Saturday it's going to be a sellout. But there we are. Until the next time, I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I did film a lot more actually, but sadly I suffered a massive technical breakdown where 1.5 days worth of footage has just gone completely awry. And in fact, half a day's worth of footage is completely corrupted. I don't know what happened, but I'm a little bit upset about it. And as you can see, the cat, she also has expressed her opinion. Anyway, many thanks for watching, everybody. Really do appreciate the comments from last video, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.